Sometimes, a woman feels nothing when she first meets you. No spark, no excitement, no instant pull. And that's where 99% of men fail, without even realizing the door was still wide open. Because here's what the average man doesn't understand. Attraction doesn't always start with desire. Sometimes, it starts with confusion, curiosity, attention she can't explain, but can't ignore. The men who master this? The dangerous men. They create the obsession. They don't wait for it. They don't need her interest to exist first. They manufacture it. In this video, I'll reveal 6 Machiavellian moves dangerous men use to pull women into obsession, even when there was zero interest at first. Every rule is a lever you can pull to turn passive women into active pursuers. And here's the brutal part. If you miss even one of these rules, you won't even realize how close you were to having her fully hooked. Stay until the end. Because at some point in your life, you will face a woman who shows no signs, and these rules will decide whether you fade away or take full control. Let's begin. Translation. If you're too available, you dissolve into background noise. If you're slightly out of reach, you become the one she can't ignore. Here's your next move. Always let her invest first. Slow down your reactions. Speak less. Smile sparingly. Let her lean in. Let her work to earn the next layer of your attention. And here's a moment to imprint. The man who holds back his approval holds all the power. Now let's move forward. Because the next test is hidden. And if you don't recognize it, you'll fail without even realizing you were being tested. Rule 1. Make her feel slightly unqualified. Attraction doesn't start with flattery. It starts with imbalance. The silent realization that she might not fully qualify for your attention. Picture this. You meet a woman who's used to winning attention without effort. Other men collapse at her feet. Compliments, smiles, validation flying in her direction. But you stay composed. You observe. You don't rush. You don't perform. Your silence says everything. My standards are high. I don't hand out attention for free. And something shifts. She starts adjusting her posture, laughing louder, finding excuses to initiate. Not because she's in love, but because her mind hates uncertainty. Uncertainty, when controlled, is the gateway to desire. Machiavelli taught, men desire most what they cannot easily obtain. Rule 2. Stay calm. In her emotional storm before deep attraction ever takes root, women subconsciously test one thing first. Can you control yourself when she pushes? This isn't always conscious. Whether you're single and just met her, in a relationship, or married for years, the game is the same. Her emotions rise not always to harm, but to measure. Here's your scenario. You're on a date with a woman you've just started seeing. Out of nowhere, she says, "You don't really open up much. Do you even like me?" The average man panics. He leans forward, rushes into reassurance. No, of course I do. I just get nervous sometimes. I really enjoy spending time with you. He collapses. Or imagine you're married for years. She suddenly throws out, "Lately, you don't seem as invested. Maybe you're not even trying anymore." Most men instantly defend. "That's not true. I do everything for this family. What more do you want?" Again, collapse. But the dangerous man, the one who activates her deepest obsession, operates differently. Here's your next move. You hold your posture. You allow silence. You maintain eye contact, unshaken, calm. You may simply reply with a half smile. "You feel that way?" Interesting. And you stop. That tiny controlled pause disarms her completely. Why? Because your energy says, I don't dance for approval. I am my own center. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. The wise man rules not by force, but by stability of presence. When you hold your ground emotionally, you trigger two primal reactions inside her: respect, curiosity. And curiosity is where obsession quietly begins. And here's your moment to imprint. If she can move your emotions, she controls the frame. If she can't, she chases it. Now let's move forward. Because the next test is hidden, and if you don't recognize it, you'll fail without even realizing you were being tested. That's where psychological tension starts to build. Because absence forces her to mentally chase what her hands can't fully grasp. Machiavelli believed that when you're always available, your value shrinks. When you control access to yourself, your value multiplies. And here's your moment to imprint. If she never has to wonder where you stand, she'll never feel the pull that triggers desire. Remember, in every situation, new date, long-term partner, or even after conflict, allow deliberate space. Don't fear silent gaps, because when you're absent, her imagination works harder than any words you could ever say. Now let's move forward, because the next test is hidden, and if you don't recognize it, you'll fail without even realizing you were being tested. Rule 3. Use absence to build psychological tension. Every man faces this. Should I stay present, or should I pull back? And here reside the secret dangerous men understand. Attraction doesn't always grow when you show up. It grows when you leave space for her mind to work. Let's bring this into your world. Imagine this if you're single. You've just met her. The conversation went well, but you didn't promise anything. Instead of chasing after, you let silence take over. No daily check-ins, no instant follow-ups. Suddenly, she starts wondering, why hasn't he reached out? Did I not impress him? Who else is he seeing? If you're in a relationship or marriage, you don't flood her with constant attention. You keep your independence. You maintain your rhythm. You disappear into your mission, your work, your personal world, without explanation. She starts feeling the slight tension. Why is he so at peace without me? Does he still crave my presence? What is he thinking? Rule 4. Reveal layers slowly. Here's where most men destroy their own value. They overshare too soon. They confuse transparency with connection. But dangerous men understand this. Attraction lives in mystery, not in full access. Let's make it real for you. Imagine this if you're single. You're on your second or third date. She leans in and asks, "So, what really happened in your last relationship?" Most men would spill everything, but you simply smile, hold eye contact, and reply, "That story's not ready for public release yet. Maybe one day." If you're in a relationship or married, even after months or years, you don't flood her with constant updates on your thoughts, your doubts, your every fear. Instead, you allow her to discover you in phases, slowly, unpredictably. Each new layer she uncovers makes her feel like she's gaining access to something rare. And rarity is the fuel of obsession. Machiavelli taught, appear open but conceal your intentions. Because full transparency removes the tension that keeps her mind orbiting around you. Here's your new mindset. When she feels like there's always more to discover, she never relaxes. She stays emotionally invested because you're not fully conquered. And your next move, Never reveal your full hand early. In every interaction, leave threads unexplained. Give her just enough to stay curious, never enough to feel complete. Now let's move forward, because the next test is hidden, and if you don't recognize it, you'll fail without even realizing you were being tested. Rule 5. Signal high demand without flaunting it. Here's a truth that rewires attraction instantly. A woman's desire intensifies when she senses competition, not through your words, but through your quiet aura. Women don't calculate attraction like men. They feel it through the social proof you carry without announcing it. Let's make this extremely practical for you. If you're single, you post a story. The likes, the comments, the subtle attention from other women quietly appear. You don't mention them. You don't fish for reactions. But she sees it. Her mind whispers, "Other women want him. Why do they see something? What am I missing?" If you're already in a relationship or married, at events, you interact with confidence. Other women naturally show you respect through glances, through brief conversations. Your woman notices. Even if she doesn't speak on it, her subconscious registers. I have what others would want. I better protect my position. Machiavelli said, "Reputation builds faster than proof." You don't prove your worth directly. You allow her imagination to build it for you. Remember, desire fueled by silent competition triggers her deepest instincts. Not because she's weak, but because she's biologically wired to protect what feels valuable. Here's your actionable move. Don't brag. Don't overshare. Maintain small windows where your desirability is subtly visible. A message left unread. A compliment from someone else you barely acknowledge. Let her connect the dots. The dots she connects herself are always more powerful than anything you say. Now let's move forward, because the next test is hidden, and if you don't recognize it, you'll fail without even realizing you were being tested. Rule 6. Own your detachment, the final lever of total control. Here's what separates ordinary men from dangerously attractive men. They never let any woman become their emotional oxygen. Desire feeds on uncertainty, and nothing creates uncertainty like a man who is fully present, but fully detached. Let's ground this with crystal clear examples. If you're single, you meet an attractive woman. She senses your interest. You're attentive, present, engaging. But she also senses something else. He enjoys me, but I don't control him. You never text first after every meeting. You let conversations end when necessary. You show warmth, but never dependency. If you're in a relationship or married, you love her, but your mission remains first. Your career, your health, your purpose, all remain untouched by her moods. When conflict arises, you don't spiral, you stay grounded. She realizes, even if I pull away emotionally, he will continue building his world. Machiavelli said it with brutal clarity. He who depends on nothing cannot be conquered. Every time she feels you could walk away if necessary, not as a threat, but as a principle, her emotional investment grows exponentially. This isn't about being cold. It's about being unbreakable. Here's your next actionable move. Train yourself to never require constant emotional reassurance. Structure your days around your mission. Surround yourself with challenges that strengthen your center. Because when your emotional world no longer depends on any woman, you control every room you enter. Now let's close this chapter and anchor the final truth. The dangerous man doesn't seduce. He destabilizes. He creates the unknown she cannot predict. And that's what hooks her. Because attraction isn't built through words, gifts, or constant effort. It's built through psychological gravity, through mystery that feels unsolvable, through calm that disarms her emotions, through absence that amplifies her imagination. Every time you refuse to react, every time you reveal less than expected, every time you disappear when others would chase, you become unforgettable. Machiavelli understood. The one who controls the frame never has to compete for desire. The dangerous man doesn't need her validation. He carries his own power, and that power creates hunger inside her. While others seek to be liked, while others crave attention, the dangerous man moves like time itself, unbothered, unattached, unapologetic. And because he never demands her obsession, she gives it. Freely, fully, desperately. In the end, it's not the man who tries harder who wins. It's the man who gives less, but holds what no woman can ignore. The silent, unshakable energy of power. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who's in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It's a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men, and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video spoke to you, don't just keep your thoughts in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember these lessons, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.